Hey there, this is Leah from Slothrust, and you're listening to Under the Covers with Charlie and Nick. Today, they're going to be listening to our version of Pony and comparing it to Ginuwine's version. Enjoy!
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yup. Thank you for that intro, Leah. We appreciate it. We're, like she said, we're under the covers, and I'm Charlie.
I'm Nick. You.
he's feeling it today. He's been out riding fences.
I'm feeling it. Doing something with fences and horses. Wrangling up stuff. Wranglers.
I think people stopped listening already.
Yeah, all right here.
So how are you
What
doing?
we do
today,
down
Nick?
here on this channel? I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I didn't expect any of this.
Yeah. Bet you don't song like this.
That's
You don't
right.
hear songs like this in these parts.
And what parts would they be?
Out here on Brokeback Mountain.
Awesome.
I ain't broke and I ain't got no back.
All
There
right.
ain't no mountain either. It's just a big old field.
Keep going.
That's all I got. I only rehearsed about 1:48 of a shtick, but I sense we're doing a song about horses today, and it's getting close to Kentucky Derby season and horses and ponies and whole nine yards. I think there's a lot going on here,
Yeah.
so I figured I'd go in my Western garb.
All right. You excited for the Derby?
Nope,
Me neither.
never watched it.
I don't like horse racing.
So
Yeah.
today, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Yeah, we're
I'm in my Western
we're under
gear.
the covers. We pick a song, and then we pick a cover version of that song. Always a studio recorded version of the cover, live versions, and then we discuss both versions and listen to them. And at the end, we both pick our favorites independently of each other. We
Yes.
don't. Yeah, we don't discuss our thoughts on the songs beforehand. So this is all live for us. And again,
Do I
with
look mysterious with this hat on?
yeah, I don't like that I can't see your eyes. It's weirding me out.
It's kind of weirding me out because I can only look at myself, which is like I keep looking at myself, being like, man, I hope this guy shows his eyes, and then I put them up there, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, those are. So I go put it back down.
Yeah. Well,
This is probably going to be an episode where I have to strip down all the way through because I'm hot in this coat. I'm sure I have an impression of a hat in my head. I got to wear these headphones weirdly.
I was gonna comment on that because the cord's coming out. It should be coming out the
this
bottom,
cord.
but it's coming right out the front.
And it's weird. It's right in my peripheral, and I don't have a lot of other things to look at because I'm just either looking at my hat or this microphone, and I don't want to look at you because I go like that, and I'm like, oh shit, there's my eyes again. And I don't want to be like Woody on freaking, or what's the girl's name on Toy Story where she has her hat on the backwards? Billy,
Jesse.
Jody,
Jesse.
Jesse. I knew it was somewhere in there,
Ah,
but
Well,
yeah,
Nick's all
I can.
garbed up in his authentic cowboy gear. I think at
Yes.
even one point he had a
Not
cowboy
really helping
glove
me
on.
either. I only had one glove because I couldn't operate my mouse or open my beer.
You were going the Michael Jackson route there with your gloves. Yeah, we're talking about the Ginuwine song "Pony," and then we'll be talking about
Pony.
the cover version by the band Slothrust. So this
Big
is so
shout
much
out
better.
to Slothrust
Yes,
for
yes.
giving us an intro.
I know. Yeah, it was
See, I
super
took a little
cool.
time. I took a little time introducing, doing my shtick there because she told us right in the very beginning what we were listening to. So
Yeah. Nope, I get it. It's so much better to see your eyes right now. Like, it's a weird thing not being able to see people's eyes that you're talking to. I guess that's what a phone call is, but who does normal phone calls anymore, right?
I guess that's what a phone call is.
But
So this song's been on the docket for a while.
yeah, it has. I actually found out about Slothrust because of this podcast, and I'm really glad I did because basically during our Valentine's episode when we did Sex and Candy, I just kind of always take a peek at other people's covers. I think you do the same, and happened to see that one, and I loved it, and started listening to other stuff, and saw they did Pony, and I was like, boom, we got to do it.
Yeah.
I moved my mic stand thinking that I wouldn't hit it anymore, but nope, still do. Here on my wall, I've got the Slothrust album, Of Course You Do, and it's their 10th anniversary of that album, so it was released in 2014, and they're doing a tour for it, so I'm super excited, super pumped. I get to go see them in Detroit in April. So
nice.
Very excited for that
You
show.
know, it's funny that you said, I've got the Slothrust album up behind me, and I was going to say, quote, "Of course you do." And then when you said it, I had a bit of probably, I don't know if it's drunken amnesia or just total shock that I was like, did I just say that? And he's just saying that back at me like as a joke? Or I went through like a little time portal of
I wish I would have
drunkenness.
let you say that on accident, because that would have been super funny.
It would have been. But
We'll just
yeah,
digitally edit that in later.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I'm sure you're going to digitally edit out most of this beginning because it was kind of a catastrophe, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a
went in there with
podcast
gusto.
that we've. Yeah, and I don't think there's been an episode we've done without some awkwardness and some gusto. So I'm just glad you didn't do the
I mean,
yeehaw.
I can say it now.
The yeehaw that you did during our test. I think my hearing is partially damaged.
Guys, I do a good yeehaw. Like, I mean, if we're gonna put people on yeehaw levels, I'm up in the 90th percentile or whatever it is, or the high percentile.
Just go in the room
I have
next
blown
to
my
you.
voice out more.
Just go in the room next to you and do it, and then everybody will hear a normal yeehaw.
I have on numerous times blown my voice out by trying to do a better yeehaw than other people doing yeehaws. So, there's a lot of practice and time, effort, and energy that goes into my yeehaw situation.
Well, if there's ever a yeehaw competition, you should definitely join it.
I will definitely get some people to back me in sponsorship. And
speaking of sponsorships, we do have a sponsor this episode.
How about that transition, huh?
That was so awesome. It was perfect. But yeah, we can get into that.
You underestimate me.
Sponsor before our we get too deep in the episode here. So today,
yeehaw,
we're sponsored by Saddle Up Energy Drink. Welcome to the wild side, where the juices flow as freely as the passion in the air. Get your freak on with Saddle Up Energy Drink. On God, this shit is bussin'. Like riding a bull for 8 seconds. Saddle Up delivers an electrifying surge of vitality that will have you feeling like you can conquer anything. Whether you're seeking a boost for the bedroom or just some afternoon delight in the break room, Saddle Up. It's your ticket to the ride you won't forget. So why wait? Jump on it. Let's do it. Ride it like it's your very own pony. Saddle Up Energy Drink, because every moment is an opportunity to seize the reins and ride it with passion.
Yeah!
Yeah. And
that's just a little taste of what I can do.
And we do have our house band that did a little jingle for Saddle Up Energy Drink. So we can go ahead and play that now.
I'm excited.
If you'd like to hear it.
I just went from 6 to 12.
Welcome to the wild side, where the juices flow free. Feel the passion in the air. Saddle up, bitches. Saddle up, bitches. Get your freak on, feel the lust. Saddle up, it's a must. On God, this shit is bussin'. Ride the wave, feel it pulsing. Looking for a weekend lover with some afternoon delight. In the backseat or underneath the moonlight. Saddle up, it's your ride.
It's a must.
Oh God, the shit is busting. Ride the wave, feel it pulsing. So why wait? Jump on it. Let's do it. Ride it like it's your pony. Saddle up, grab the reins. Time to get horny, baby, saddle up. Oh God, this shit is busting. Saddle up. Juice is flowing. Saddle up. Saddle up. Saddle up.
Whoa.
That's a smooth
Oh,
solo.
yeah.
Saddle up. Saddle up.
Saddle up.
Saddle up. Saddle up. Saddle up.
All right.
So are you saying that we've all just found our new ringtone?
That's a smooth jam right there. We appreciate it, house band.
Oh my gosh, that is yeah. As yeah, I don't know how it can get much better than that. Yeah. That was good. That was like really good. I can't stand up, but it was really good.
Oh gosh, that's a sexy energy drink.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be some mouse clicking on that one.
Oh, well, so back to get started on the song Pony by Ginuwine. I keep having to mentally say Ginuwine because I believe that's how it's pronounced. Not genuine.
Genuine?
Ginuwine?
Ginuwine?
Maybe.
Well, let me say this. No matter how we pronounce it, it's better than Elgin Baylor Lumpkin.
Yeah, well,
Do you know
he
who
was named after
Elgin
an NBA
Baylor-
player. Elgin Baylor was like a Hall
Still
of
a
Fame
horrible
basketball
name.
player. Lumpkin's interesting. I mean, it's a surname, so have no choice there.
If that was my last name, I'd probably do something different with it as well.
Yeah.
Isn't
I mean,
there a place
it's-
called Fatty Lumpkins?
Yeah, in Muskegon here, there's a sandwich shop. Really good sandwiches. If you're in town, go get one. Fatty Lumpkins. But yeah, now we'll have to tag Fatty Lumpkins in
would
this
you say
episode.
the sandwiches? Would you say that those sandwiches there are genuine good sandwiches?
Oh yeah,
Genuinely good sandwiches?
yeah. They got
See
a
what I did
kickin'
there?
chicken one, a genuinely good sandwich. Oh my gosh, that's a perfect idea for a product merger. I better get him in touch with Ginuwine if I can find his number.
I'm sure it's listed in the phone book.
So this song was on his.
Can you
his-
imagine?
Oh, go ahead. You got a point. I'm sorry.
No. Just the phone book was sort of fucking weird. I mean, if you think about it, because you just had random people's names and numbers in there and their addresses. So if I don't know, if you were Ginuwine and you wanted to lurk all over and through you, baby, you could actually look them up on their addresses in the phone book.
Yeah. Now, the internet's even. It's a little harder to find people than the phone book was.
I know. Don't you think it would have gotten easier? I mean,
Right.
now
right?
I sound like I'm a stalker, a straight up stalker at this point, being like, it was so much easier to stalk people back in the day.
I think.
Anyway,
But
genuine.
I think back then, like, there were less people wanting to stalk people, so it wasn't as bad. Like now, I think
Really?
I don't know. Society seems kind of iffy, but it's also because now everything's more available and like you know the news from everywhere. Like back when we were growing up, you didn't know everything. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways,
Yeah.
I digress.
So back to this song. We thought this would be a short episode. We're 19 minutes and we haven't even started talking about the song yet.
we'll run through the song.
So this was on
pretty quick.
So
Yeah.
this was released as the first single, or the only single, I think, from his debut album in 1996. Called
Ginuwine, The Bachelor.
Ginuwine Ellipsis, The Bachelor, which is a double platinum.
Yeah.
He says it was created 9 years prior to that when he was with his first band. What was his first band? Swing Mob?
Yeah, I believe
Something
that
like that.
sounds right. And at one point, I also read that he performed as a Michael Jackson impersonator. Ginuwine did.
Really? That's a fun fact. He's got a good voice. I do like his voice, and I think as we get further and further into this, I think. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, the video shows he can dance.
Yeah. Well, he was also in some Jodeci videos, and that's kind of how he got his start in the bigger end of the the level up from the Michael Jackson impersonators level.
Nice. So yeah, he and by the way, the Swing Mob was sort of based out of here in Rochester, New York, or just north of me. And that's kind of where he met a bunch of people with these quote middle names.
I knew you were going to bring that up. I didn't write that down.
Missy Elliott, Magoo Barcliffe, Stevie J. Jordan, which, by the way, shouldn't even have a quote middle name because his name is Stephen Jordan. So Stevie J was just basically like, he must have been there like one day and they're like, what's your quote middle name? And he's like, Stevie J. But the big one was Timothy Mosley, which is also known as Timbaland. And him and Missy Elliott got together and took Mr. Elgin Baylor Ginuwine Lumpkin and said, let's do this. Let's make something big. And the song came out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually read, now that you brought up Rochester, I read that this song was recorded there.
No way.
Yeah, so I read an interview from the album engineer, Jimmy Douglas, and he said Pony was recorded in Rochester. We had Pony ready for about a year, and the actual finished track was a rough mix from the session that night.
Wow.
But yeah, and I also read one thing that was kind of interesting too is what they used both analog and digital tracks to record it. So like the vocals were recorded on the digital, and all the beats were recorded on analog. That's what I read from that.
Really?
Yeah, from that same interview. So from the album engineer. So gotta assume it's legit.
That seems exactly the opposite of what I would think.
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if you're going to do all that burpee stuff over and over again, I mean, you would think that would be the loop on a digital thing because that's what they could do. And then he had to do what he's doing. So funny.
The burpee stuff. It just reminded me of a point I wanted to say was, you got that burpee stuff, and then like the higher pitch, the up ones. They remind me of like a Scooby-Doo sound, like when Scooby-Doo's running away or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Look, when this song gets going, and I'm probably jumping ahead because I've listened to it a lot this week. There's a lot going on in the song, and I can see why Timbaland, because I mean, this is kind of his first big thing. And he went on to produce and put beats and things like that for Babyface, Snoop Dogg, Usher, Lenny Kravitz, Limp Bizkit, Destiny's Child, Justin Timberlake, a lot of Justin Timberlake. But when you listen to it with headphones on, man, there is a ton of layers and things going on.
Yeah.
And let me say this, because I only recognized the burpee stuff because I didn't even know what Pony was. When you said, "Hey, we should do Pony," I'm like, never heard of that fucking song until I heard the burps, and then I was like, oh, I know that song.
Yeah, everybody knows this song. They might not know it by name, but
Yeah,
you
if-
hear it, and yeah. I mean, this was at so many school
Yeah, even
dances and on the radio.
yeah. Scott and I were coming back from getting our haircut today, and I was like, "Hey, do you know the song?" And he had heard it before. He didn't know what it was. But no, Ginuwine. This was his kind of his leadoff hit. He's done, quite a bit of stuff. He's done some acting. He's done a little bit of everything. But he's
Mhm.
after this song, him and Timbaland kind of quote unquote grew apart, and I'm not sure if he made the best decisions. He decided to hook up with R. Kelly, and that's probably not the best life choice. I'm just going to throw that out there. And then he decided to roll on to P. Diddy, and
Oh dear,
there's some stuff going along with that.
that's current events for sure. Woof.
Yeah, but on a good side, he must have had some stellar management because he's also the spokesperson for adult chocolate milk. So if you want some chocolate milk
Yes.
that's for adults,
Yes.
but
I did.
but
Is that still being made? Because when I was looking up stuff, I couldn't necessarily find that anywhere. But maybe it's just available in select markets. It's not like I live in a big market, so
I don't listen. I don't live in a big market either, and I couldn't quite find anything. But I agree. I'm not sure if he's made great business decisions or not. But the song was huge. So
this song was huge. One thing I wanted to note that I found on this song was the beat samples opening drum patterns from the song "We Getting Down" by Weldon Irvine. He's a jazz funk artist, so I pulled that song up on Spotify to listen to it to see what, match them up, kind of listen to what beat they're talking about. And then as I hit play on "We Getting Down," I was like, holy shit, this song sounds exactly like another song. So I was racking my brain, searching the internet, like, what was that song? And then finally I found it as Herbie Hancock's song "Chameleon," and which came out 2 years earlier than Weldon Irvine's "We Getting Down." So 2 weeks in a row, I've busted people for cheating on songs, copying songs.
my gosh,
I couldn't find anything.
I mean, that's why.
I couldn't
Charlie,
find
I'm gonna interrupt
anything
you
on the internet about any sort of conspiracies about those.
This is why we're professionals. This is why we make the big dollars. This is why we pull in big sponsors like Adult Chocolate Milk or whatever.
Saddle Up energy drink.
Please, Saddle Up energy drinks. I mean that's the one I drink when I am going to have some energy drinks. Is Saddle Ups. But that's why we do this, because our talent can't be matched. It's not arrogance. That's truth. I hate to pull
It's
that
not
out.
cocky if you back it up.
Yeah, especially with burps. Burp, 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 burp.
Oh,
I
goodness.
wish I could hit that low one. I would love to burp this song out.
That would
I'm
be
sure somebody has.
disgusting, but, and it'd probably be like it'd be disgusting, but it'd also be annoying, like the jingle bells when it's just dogs barking the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
But you can Google
That
that.
is horrible.
Should-
The other thing too is Ginuwine was the uncle or cousin of Donna Meagles from Parks and Recreation. So if you remember that show,
Yeah.
he was the cousin and appeared in a couple episodes.
Oh wait, was he your real cousin in real life?
I can't say that.
Oh, okay, because I
would
love
just say that
I love that show, and I remember that, like, they went to a cabin or her house, and somebody was freaking out because they're like, "Is that Ginuwine with you?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're cousins." That'd be cool if they were cousins in real life too, along with the show.
yeah, I mean, Charlie, I read the Wikipedia page thoroughly,
Okay,
but I did not fact check how far these rabbit holes go down. I was too busy planning my giddy up rodeo outfit right rather than trying to find, factual things about these folks.
You did a good job.
Ginuwine does go into an area of musicdom that I'm not super familiar with. But I did also realize that, and from Scott, that he was in the 2023 Masked Singer and was eliminated by Sebastian Bach.
Oh,
nice. And they were doing they were both doing 80s hairband songs, and Ginuwine did some Bon Jovi song, but it was a slower one. But he was going against Sebastian Bach, and like Sebastian Bach knows 80s hair metal. Probably was gonna win that anyway.
Yeah, this is the second episode with some Masked Singer contestants. The first one we had was T-Pain.
Yeah.
Doing War Pigs.
T-Pain. Yeah. I mean, sorry. I'm on a train wreck today. So one thing about this song, as we transition into maybe the listening phase, is this song is not really even a slight veiling of sex as it relates to a horse. I mean, he kind of comes out and just says it straight up.
Yeah. I mean, he's just using the word pony instead of penis.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know what? You're exactly right. If you're horny, let's do it. Ride it. My penis, my saddle, waiting. Come and jump on it. Yeah, you know what? I am never going to hear this song the same again without putting penis straight up in there. There is one lyric that I have a question on.
Okay.
It's, I think it's the maybe second verse. I don't know how to quantify some of these things. So he says, sitting here flossing, peeping your steelo. Now, flossing.
Yeah.
I think this song was put out before, like, the flossing dance was a big thing.
Yeah, this is not about dancing, flossing. And he's not also talking about literally flossing his teeth. He's talking about flaunting his money, his wealth, his style.
Oh. I didn't realize.
Yeah, and peeping your steelo.
You can imagine how.
Yeah, and peeping your steelo is checking you out, basically checking out your drip, how you look.
Gosh dang, you are, because I was sitting there envisioning this, like sitting here flossing. So I'm like, cleaning your teeth. That's kind of a weird lead off. And then peeping, I got that one. Your steelo. I thought steelo was some sort of, I don't know, horse tack. Like those little things that they put in their mouth.
Okay.
That little jaw, like that little. So I thought that was a steelo, and I'm like, does she have a retainer in? Like, so he's flossing, and she's got a retainer in her mouth, and he's like, I'm going to put my pony in that, or whatever.
To get past the censors, he had to put a literal horse term in there.
Look, I got to that, when I started reading the lyrics, I was like, I'm lost here. Most of these other lyrics, I get. Sitting here flossing in the morning, I'm thinking, okay, well, he didn't just leave her in the bed, and now he's like peeping at her retainer. So I couldn't get that out of my head.
Well, now you know.
I did understand the part where it said juices running down your thigh.
Yeah,
I'm sure my mom is going to blush for sure when she hears that coming out of my mouth. So. That's why I can only say penis like that, because that's the only way I can say penis around my mom.
Well, your mom might want to skip this song when we listen to it here, because it's pretty sexy. It's almost as sexy as the Saddle Up jingle.
Anyway, this song was supposedly written 9 years before it came out too. So this Ginuwine guy must have been pretty young when he got this. So I'm thinking like Scott was like sitting there being like one day just brushing his teeth, thinking like, I'm getting horny. Let me talk about my penis. Oh, let's just change it to pony. My saddle's waiting. Come and jump it.
Yep.
Get on my jockey team. Yeah.
We can listen to it and not have this awkward conversation about your son.
Oh, yeah. We could probably do that. So the song is 4 minutes and 12 seconds of poetic awesomeness. Little weird. On Spotify, I always like to talk about the Spotify spins because they do a pretty good job at consolidating like what version it is and this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This one here had two versions that equated into 198 million plays, but there's also a playlist or a song or some sort of playlist that's totally separate called TikTok Summer Party.
Yeah.
That this song had 485 million listens on.
Yeah. This song is so many places on Spotify. You've got his album, but then if you just search Pony, like the song, the first one that pops up is Ginuwine's Pony, but it's not even from Ginuwine the Bachelor. It's from R&B, from doo-wop to hip-hop. And yeah, like you mentioned, then you got TikTok Summer Party that has more listens. And then there's, he did a bunch of remix. There's newer versions. There's a pony, like a dirty pony or something with Britney Spears. There's a lot of versions of this song Pony by Ginuwine. Yeah, that was a very good point.
But we all kind of know what it sounds like. We all kind of know what it sounds like. So let's I'm ready to give it a listen to again. Burp. Burp.
Yeah, it's a good song. This is an essential jam, and that was really good. So we can't play the song because we don't have the rights to it, but there'll be a little interlude, and feel free to go listen to it, and then come back in a minute or so, and we'll talk about it.
Giddy up. Lots of yes, there's a lot of getting horny at the end of that, isn't there?
Oh yeah, that song slaps. If the kids still say that, I don't know. I do.
I don't even. I think it flosses.
Okay.
I mean, if I was flossing, there's a lot going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you listen to it with headphones on, you don't really realize how many layers are on that. And it's when you get into that round of the burpee stuff, the negative space, the way they've made it so that everything stops at one point. So it's just, there's nothing going on. And then it goes back, it keeps, every few seconds there's another one of those, but it's almost shocking. But when his lyrics come in, dude has soul and has a great timbre, and it cuts through the mix. Yes, there's a lot going on, but it's an awesome balance. I got no problems with the song. Yeah,
it's got a great beat. Just that kind of keeps throughout the whole song, and you're right. Ginuwine's vocals and lyrics are. Well, the vocals are amazing. Lyrics are amazing in a horny way. There's like the one part when he says chills, and he just kind of emphasizes chills.
Oh, yeah.
It gives you chills. It's awesome.
Yeah. And again, if you take any, here's the deal: is if you took any one part away of this song, it would screw up the whole song. It wouldn't sound very good. You'd be like, this is not worth it. But for example, like if you take away the burps and you take away the vocals, that whole like ethereal thing. It sounds like you're in a Disney queue line at like Tomorrowland, right? There's not really. It kind of sucks by itself, but because you're adding these two other elements on top of it, it carries the whole song, and it's that balance, and that's what a
Mhm.
producer. I've got to give everything to Timbaland for finding a way to balance all that stuff out and make it what it is. I mean, that's what a producer is
Mhm.
supposed to do. So
Yeah, and another point that I feel about this song, and I've never heard them separate, but I feel like the beats and the music of this song could live on its own without vocals, and the vocals, like an a cappella version of this, would also sound great. Um,
yeah,
but like you mentioned,
you
like
know, that's a
like and to your point, like there's a lot going on, it's complicated, and you need all of that. But if you separate the vocals and the track, they could both live as separate entities and probably still be great.
yeah. I think you could take the same. You're exactly right. His vocal delivery, and when I say I'm being very specific here about vocal delivery, because the lyrics are not great. If you took that vocal delivery and put it into whatever words you want, that is a really good. You could put that on over a blues track. You could put that over a rock track. You could, that's a great delivery all the way through,
Mm-hmm.
and rightfully so. He did a hell of a job at it. So
Yeah.
still have trouble with the flossing. By the way, I'm just gonna put that out there for the record.
Yeah. I don't really have too much more to say about Ginuwine's version. If you're ready to talk about Slothrust.
No, Slothrust. I mean, they're a Boston band, right? I mean, saying, yeah, let's go for the mountaintop
Yeah.
or the horseback
So
riding. That's probably
so
how they said that.
so I think Leah Wellbaum is from Boston, and possibly Will Goran, the drummer, and I don't know, maybe even Kyle Band, the bassist. But I did read that they met in school in New York, and at Sarah Lawrence College in Yonkers, north of New York City, and that's kind of where they formed. And then I've
Nice.
read some interviews and saw some interviews on YouTube and things, and basically they were kind of a New York band. Like they stayed up there and did a lot of shows and everything. And from what I know now or heard now, they're based in LA. But yeah, like
Oh,
Wikipedia
nice.
definitely says they're a Boston band. But yeah, to my knowledge, they were formed in New
Yeah.
York. I did also
And
read.
they're borderline. Well, they're borderline on our underexposed side of the podcast world because they're
Mhm.
not widely known. I think if you asked, 99 or 100 quote unquote normal people who Slothrust is, I think you're gonna probably get a never heard of them. But
No, I
their
agree
music's
completely,
really good.
and I'm really thankful for this podcast because I was one of those 100 people who had said I've never heard of that band because of our podcast. You know, I heard a song and I liked it, so I listened to some more, and now I own a bunch of albums. I mean, these
Nice.
are all the vinyl I
A
have.
bunch of albums. Holy moly.
Oh, yeah, and I got their cover album that I first discovered. Leah did the artwork on that.
Nice.
So she's also an artist. So of course you do, and The Pact are my two favorite albums for sure. They've got a
Nice.
yeah, it's good stuff. Like I said,
Nice.
I would have never known about this band if it weren't for this podcast. So I'm happy, and I'm going to
Yeah.
see them in April. It'll be fun.
Yeah. I think their sound, at least to me, to describe it is a mix of, rock, alt, and when I say alt, I'm saying pretty far alt, punk, and some blues. There's an amalgamation of everything here, and when we talk about the song itself, I think we'll get into that a little bit more. Their attitudes, like I watched quite a bit of live stuff and a few things that they had on YouTube. They do have that 90s despondent persona, where they're sort of, I don't want to say aloof, because that sounds like they're just willy nilly, but very short. I'd say almost like Violent Femmes or Blind Melon comes to mind. I'm not sure why Blind Melon, um, but the one thing I like about them, and I'm going to try to carefully say this, is that I've not been a big fan traditionally of bands with lead singing women, or really a lot of women in general, because I feel like they become a shtick. Where the way Slothrust does it is, it's almost like you don't notice it. It's almost like her voice, her timbre doesn't always sound like a woman, for lack of a better way to say that. And I know I'm probably being chauvinistic by even just pointing that out, but I really appreciate that about them, and I don't give them props because they have a woman in their band, because I think they're a great band if that was a dude or a woman.
Mm-hmm. No, and I think that was a great point, and I think you said it well. I don't think you said anything, that's offensive or anything. I've actually heard that sentiment about a female lead from women. That's actually surprised me, and so that's not a new thing I've heard before, but yeah, I think you're spot on, dead on with their sound. A lot of some of the songs I'll be listening to, and I'm like, man, this reminds me of some of that alternative indie stuff I listened to back late 90s, early 2000s. And I think that's another reason why I really like them. I really enjoy Slothrust, because it kind of gives me a nostalgic feeling when I listen to their music.
Yeah.
It's new, and it's kind of recognizable because it's a style that I've listened to.
Right. And going to this song in particular, if you go to their YouTube page, they have a couple different versions of this. They have the version you kind of hear on Spotify. There's a vocal track only, and I think they honestly just took straight up the vocals, which when you hear them, this is one I almost wish I'm sure you could find the genuine tracks, like the Ginuwine tracks.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I mean her vocals are a cool delivery. Sometimes they have a very breathy whisper sound. Other times they're harder, but again, the delivery is great. But then there's the extended version.
Oh yeah,
which is a full on 10 minutes longer than the 4 minute and 14-second regular version. And that's a good jam.
It is a great jam. And they recorded that live in studio. That was the take. So when you listen to that 14 and a half minute,
awesome.
15-minute song, like, they basically improvised and just did it one try, and that's what they put out, and it is fun. I remember when we were talking about doing this song, and I was telling you about Slothrust version, and I was like, oh man, yeah, and I was driving home listening to the extended version, and you're like, whoa, 15 minutes? I'm like, God, just give it a listen.
There's a lot going. It's worth it. It meanders. We talked about this. Like, I'm not into noodling. I like songs that go somewhere. But today I decided to listen to it one last time and think of bands that reminded me, like, that I felt like they exuded throughout this jam. And some of the bands I got. So if people are going to wonder if they should listen to this song or this band, is I got some Pink Floyd, I got some Lenny Kravitz, I got some Rage Against the Machine, I got some Velvet Underground, and I got some String Cheese Incident. And I mean, that's an eclectic mix, and why I think Slothrust as a whole is hard to like pin down to a genre or a specific thing. But they're a 3-piece band when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and You're right. You're right. They have so many different musical influences that it is hard to just put a genre on it, like on their music. It is what it is. Nobody's asking for forgiveness. They're just out there making music and art and love what they do and they do it well. Like Leah's a great guitarist. She's got some cool solos. Will is a great drummer.
She
I
does.
know, and Kyle Ban is, at least on the albums I have. I don't know if Kyle played bass on the I Promise EP, which is what Pony is off of, but I know they tour with different bassists sometimes. But it seems like they always
Mhm.
record with Kyle. Uh, I think Leah and Will are super tight friends. I follow them both on Instagram and stuff now. So, but
Nice, nice. Well,
uh,
we should probably think about jumping into this because I'm
yeah, yeah,
dying to hear it. And
yeah,
and I'm going to say this before we even get into it, is that my judgment at the end of this for which one I'm voting for is still out. Like I wrote down notes during the Ginuwine song, and I'm still there. Like I'm not sure which way I'm going to go on here. They're so different.
yeah. They are, and
So
I'm in the same boat.
it's way out there.
I've been in the same boat since we talked about this song months ago, and I'm still at that point right now. But everybody, I highly suggest you listen to this song. Definitely check this out. Check out Slothrust. They're worth it. Let's give it a listen.
Let's do it. Oh my God,
Whew. Get the chills with that one where that ends.
you do, at the very end. I mean,
that
Jesus.
that build up at the
I
end. Oh, it's epic.
like I don't know how big a band Slothrust is. I have no idea. You know them definitely more than I do. I don't know if they're selling out clubs. I don't know if they're selling out bars. I don't know if they're going to arenas. I don't know what they're doing. But their production value of these songs, of the songs they have, and especially this one here,
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable. And if it's a no-name producer, he needs to be or they need to be a more well-known producer. Because every sound, everything has its own spot, and they're perfectly timed. They're perfectly recorded. It's fucking really good.
It is. That's a beautiful way to describe it. Just so much, like you got the vocals, and then you got the whispers in the back when he's like, "Ride it,
Yeah,
let's do it." You know,
yeah.
it's everything. God, everything in that
Red
just
rum,
just melts
flossing.
together. I guess I didn't have my volume up enough to hear Red
Giddy
Rum.
up.
But yeah, man, that version is so different but similar. Like you get the same vibe, that deep bass line throughout, the drum beats,
Yeah.
everything on that. That's why I was so excited to do this song, because it's like, how can anybody do Pony better than Ginuwine?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Now
Slothrust came along,
they
and
start out in blew it out of the water. Well, let me say this: I don't want to say blew it out of the water because that's tipping my hand a little bit because I'm excited and I'm nipple hard because of what I just heard. But the song starts off like Black Sabbath, like
yes,
do do
yes,
do do do. I
yes,
mean,
that's exactly what I hear as
and
well. Like you think it's
and again, that's the sound you're gonna hear when you hear Slothrust. Is you're gonna hear these band influences from time to time, and you know what, they do a great job because they're not they use, like, for in this song, the bass guitar is the burpy sound, but it's the basis of the whole thing.
mm-hmm.
But they have such slight salt and pepper embellishments through overdubs, dubbing the guitars, cleaking guitars, and other sounds that augment that. It's not trying to carry the song. It's not trying to make the song. It's just that salt and pepper on top. And again, when I go back to production, that's to me what it really feels like.
Yeah. They have that guitar solo in there in the last third of the song that just melts your face. Everything about that version is great. Just like the original, everything about it just meshes together and makes a great song.
Yeah. The last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to say it again, is they are not using her voice, and I'm using her, and I'm putting that as an emphasis, as an out front angle for this song. It's sort of hidden. They don't put a female vocal touch on it, but I'm also not giving them an inch because it's a girl. I just think that they fucking kill it in terms of how they deliver the lyrics and everything else. And yes, there's as much as they're kind of putting it sort of second. I mean, I think she delivers the vocals really well. You know, in the Ginuwine version, he's putting sex and his voice, the man version of his voice, up front and center. You want women raining from their vagina because it's Ginuwine, you know, fucking delivering it in that. So again, not being sexist here, just saying, hey, you know.
No, and I see
right
that
way.
because when you're listening to Slothrust version of this song, you're not thinking, oh, I'm listening to a woman sing, and you're just listening to the song. So I see your point there.
But when you're hearing Ginuwine, you're hearing burps and a beat, and then you're hearing his smooth, sexy vocals is what they want you to hear. I mean, they want women to be like, and throw bras and panties on stage.
Yeah, and that reminds me of one thing we didn't bring up, which we do sometimes, is the music video of the songs. So
yes,
obviously Ginuwine's music video set in like this cowboy bar. His crew walks in and everybody's kind of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then next thing you know, everybody's having a good old time. Sexy video, lots of dancing. What? Having a good old time.
What did they say? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that what? Waka, waka, waka.
Maybe I did that. I don't know. But if you've watched Slothrust video for this, it's fun and weird and lots of visuals, but it's sexy in its own weird way as well. And maybe it's just because of the song, but there's some fun, weird things in that. So it's worth a watch the video as well.
You know what?
Looks like they had fun making it for sure.
I'll say this. I probably would give Ginuwine a negative demerit, if you will, for like picking out the most stereotypical depiction of a country bar since like Redneck or Roadhouse. You know, I mean, everything in that, like that dude. I mean,
this was the late 90s as well with Ginuwine. So I mean, yes. Everything was stereotypical back then.
It was very stereotypical. I'm like, oh, geez, I should be offended, but I'm not, because I don't get offended on anything.
Wait, so are you offended because the outfit you wore at the start of this episode was the same as the stereotypical cowboy in that video?
No, I'm offended that I think cowboys have to wear this stuff all the time. This hat, I'm telling you, if I had to wear this fucking thing, first of all, I don't know why it exists.
To keep,
like, I want somebody to write in why this shape exists.
The sun off your head, and the rain.
Yeah, so does a baseball cap. But why do they go on the back?
Oh,
the rain. So just rain just drops down.
Yeah, and then
I'm not even
your
wearing it
neck
the right
doesn't
way, I'm
get sunburned.
backwards.
The back of your neck doesn't get sunburned.
I don't know. It hurt my head.
I can't see
you
your
don't like it
eyes
now that I
again.
can't see my eyes.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable again. Take it off.
All right. Well, I'm ready. I think I'm ready to make my voice. Are you? I'm not sure even who goes first here.
I go first this time. You just did for the eclipse episode, I believe. How was the eclipse? I'm glad to see your eyes aren't burned.
It was it was great. It was great. I had the 10-foot recreation I did for the Dark Side of the Moon cover went flawlessly. So
Nice. Happy to hear it. All right, so I'll go ahead and give my vote. And Ginuwine's version is awesome. Brings back so many, high school memories, and that it still holds up. Such a great song, Timbaland. Amazing beats on the song. You got your burps, you got your Scooby Doo noises, but they all work. It's just a standard for any sort of R&B type of music from back in the late 90s. Slothrust took that song and somehow made it an amazing rock song. Everything about it, the production quality, the vocals, the drums, the bass, guitar, just everything melded together. It's a beautiful, brilliant song, fun to listen to. Also, the extended version is awesome as well. I'm going to go with Slothrust. Love the version.
nice.
It's amazing. It's fun to listen to, and honestly, I think it's more fun right now in my life than the Ginuwine version. So Slothrust.
Well, you know, I've been the same way. Ginuwine, I mean, he wrote it. The groove, production, second to none. Vocals are soul for days, and I think in the long haul, that song will probably stand up as a relevant song down the road. When our kids are my age, or my kids are our age, and not we don't have kids. I feel like that will still be kind of like a point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But agree with you is that right now, Slothrust, I think it simplifies the song to like brass tacks. I think it pares it down a little bit. I think the sounds that they got, the other things that are going on that are augmenting that main beat, embellish it with just enough nuance to make it better. And they're not afraid of the peaks and valleys, like where the Ginuwine version is very short term. I think Slothrust brings it high and low, and then obviously at the very end shows how that strike, that contrast can do it. And then lastly, a girl singing this makes me more horny than a dude singing this, so I'm giving it to Slothrust.
It has been spoken.
It has been spoken.
Well, yeah.
Well, what a good one.
Yeah. Earlier, we didn't think we'd go this long. I don't know. I get feedback both ways where an hour's a good length. But then some people are like, oh, no, you got to cut it down to 45 minutes. But it's hard. It's hard to keep it shorter.
You know what's really hard is when you're flossing and I'm peeping at you still low and you're part of my ponytail and you're my jockey.
Just
moisture going down your leg.
Just listen to Saddle Up later. You'll be good to go. If you want a fourth kid.
Well, what do you guys think? We appreciate you guys tuning in all the time. We'd love to know your feedback, so leave them down in the comments. Do you like the Ginuwine? Gosh dang, I keep looking at it, and I want. First of all, I want to go Ginuwine. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
It's like photography. Or the Slothrust version. I think we're going to expose some new audiences to the band, and we're excited about that, and we appreciate our sponsors. So
Yes.
let us know.
Yeah, we do. We appreciate everybody. Thanks for all the continued support and listening. Welcome everybody who's new. Thanks again for the intro for this podcast. That was our first artist intro, so means a lot to us. So thanks again for everybody for listening. We love y'all.
Bob, 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 Bob.